Hello and welcome back to the channel for another episode of my Maple Valley Dinosaur Park sandbox park build. So just to begin with, I was moving like some of these fences away from like where the guests would be to make it a bit more realistic, and then I like decorate a lot of the areas with like some of the new like decorations and stuff, because I forgot to do that in the past. So as you can see here, I'm like building up the main street, like continuing this like alley of planters type thing, making sure that all areas of the park look nice, because I don't want some areas to look blank and bland while some areas look quite nice. So that's what I'm doing at the beginning of this episode, and then I get to build an enclosure towards the middle of the episode. So here we go, placing some trees just to make this area look less blank, because I hate having blank spaces in my park. Also separates like the fence from the pathway a bit here, so yeah, the guests don't feel too like enclosed as if they're trapped in a cage, because of like the fences. Sometimes in my parks they can be quite close and you get like an alleyway where it's like the guests are like trapped like between the fences, if that makes sense. But yeah, just placing some trees here because I couldn't do that originally, but now with the individual trees I can make my own little forest. It's so good. So happy that they finally added these. I think in every episode since the update I've placed them. But yeah, just making things a lot nicer, because like there was a lot of bland spaces. I then thought about what to do with this area here. I was going to put an enclosure here, but then I decided to build a hotel complex because I realised I didn't build one in this park yet. I then decided to sort the paths out next to the raptor and Chan-Jasaurus enclosure. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. I then got to work on trying to build an enclosure, but in the end I scrapped it because I didn't like how the guests were like trapped, if that makes sense. Like you see the path there, they're trapped between two fences, and I just thought, nah, it's not really what I'm going for. I want it to be a bit more open, so I decided to place the hotels and that in that area. But yeah, I kept trying to plan out where the exhibit could go, but I couldn't really make my mind up. I didn't like how it looked. I was like, it's just a blank square. It just seemed like a really awkward place to put an enclosure. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just like thinking and like seeing what it looks like on the map, but yeah, scrapped it in the end because it didn't look very good. And then placed a security shelter and some toilets, because I haven't put them in my park for a while, I don't think. And yeah, it doesn't really matter on sandbox mode, but yeah, just wanted to make sure there was facilities just to make it a bit more real. And as you can see here, laying out the pathway for the hotel complex. So I placed a couple of large hotels on this side of the path, and then on the other side I placed some of these, and these would be like lodges that the guests could stay in. So you have like the luxury hotels and then like lodges. I thought that was quite cool. And then placed all of these trees just to hide them a bit more, because I want this to be sort of like you're in the woods, even though you're not. Yes, then connecting all the paths up. Then I got to decorating the exterior of all the buildings, so I placed a couple of the new fountains outside of there, and then one of the bigger ones near the lodges. And then I started placing these like Jurassic Park type pillars. I think they're really cool. I really like them. And as you can see, I place more of them later on. As you can see here, I was trying to place some of those amber planters, but I decided against it because it didn't look very good, so I placed some regular planters in the end. Just putting that sand down there to make it look like it's built on, placing some of the new tree planters, and yeah, then planters I decided to place there, because that looked a lot better than those amber ones. Then of course I placed more of these Jurassic Park fence post pillar things, and that like sort of signifies that that's the beginning of the hotel area. And I thought it looked quite nice in the end, like a little woodland retreat type thing. And then I got to work on placing the actual enclosure for this episode. And as you saw by the thumbnail, I placed some Carnotaurus, one of my favourite dinosaurs in this game. One of my favourite dinosaurs in general, actually. And the enclosure was quite small at first, but I extend it in a minute, as you'll see. Yeah, just placing the water source and all the trees and stuff, making sure it's all natural and nice to look at. Of course, placing all the rocks. Got to have rocks in your exhibits. Also, the shaping of the exhibit was like too square, and I didn't really like it. It looked too unnatural. But yeah, just connecting all the path up to the existing path, and placing some random trees here and there just to add to the natural aesthetic. And then I started work on adding the dinosaurs. So yeah, just a couple of random skins, and they came out quite cool in the end actually. Yeah. Normally if I don't like a skin I'll get rid of it, but both of them I really liked. So here we go with the live footage. So there we go, got a nice green one and a white one, or grey.
This predator immediately by the horns on its head.
So then obviously we moved them into the enclosure. But I think actually no, before I done that I extended the exhibit. Yeah, I placed the gate there, but then I was like, nah, it's too small. Yeah, here we go, making it a bit bigger. Just adding all the trees and stuff. Then I added a couple of little lakes. I think at this stage in the series, I think there's only room for maybe a couple or one more large exhibit. So if you have any suggestions for what I could do for the last exhibit, let me know in the comments. Of course, name suggestions welcome as well, and I'll pick my favourite out of all of them. So yeah, just waiting, placing the gate there, and then waiting for the Carnotaurus to finally arrive in their new home. Placing more of the trees. And here we go, getting a look at our Carnotaurus in their new habitat. So we have this grey one here, which is one I decided to name. So you see me doing that in a minute. Yeah, he was doing some little animation here. I mean, I thought he was going to roar at the end of that, because it sort of seems like the build up to a roar animation, but no. Then we have this green one. I really like this one, actually, the green one now. And they done their little social animation. This is probably one of the best social animations in the game. Oh, look at that. That's so good. Definitely one of the more unique animations. Yeah, but I thought the contrast of the eye of this grey one, like with the body, I thought was really cool. So that's like a really dark red eye with the like the white light body. So this is where I named it, and I decided in the end to name it Taurus because of it's a Carnotaurus, which means meat-eating bull, and Taurus as in the bull. It's the Latin name for, or Greek name for bull, I think. So yeah, I thought that was quite cool. I was going to call it Toro or something similar, but then I realised that's the name of the Carnotaurus in Camp Cretaceous, so I didn't want to infringe on that. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. So thank you very much for watching. Of course, suggestions welcome. Be sure not to miss the cinematic shots at the end. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.